Also, big thing in our precinct, especially in your community, is the car break-ins. A lot of, some of it has to do with, leaving your car open, but besides that, please clean out your cars. Take off that GPS thing on the windshield and then clean off that O-ring, because no matter how dumb the perps are out there, they're pretty smart. They see a little O-ring there, they know somewhere in your car you might have a GPS that's worth $20, $30 for them to sell it for drugs or what have you. They'll break in the window and they'll rip your car apart. Take all your clutter out, put it in the trunk. Thank you very much.
Number two, I've been noticing that there are a lot of really tall buildings. I live in Brooklyn because I like the sky. I work in Manhattan and I come home because I like the sky. And I understand that a lot of these buildings are given special dispensations, so to speak. Why does that happen and how do we stop it? I'm sure everybody wants to see the sky. We don't want to see buildings. The building.
We also, again, as I said, my district is very diverse. For the non-public school sector, there is a requirement for it's called a CAP requirement for comprehensive attendance policy, where public and non-public schools are required to take attendance. We put in a system of reimbursement for the private parochial schools, parochial Catholic school yeshivas, and the state wasn't living up to its commitment to pay back, to reimburse for those services. So we were able to add, there was $13 million, we added $7 million for that, and also something that, since we're here in the yeshiva, how can I not mention, one of the things that I fought very hard for was for a number of the boys' yeshivas, the classes end at 5 o'clock or after 5 o'clock. The city is supposed to provide bus transportation if you live more than a mile from school, in elementary school, to public and private students, school students. But the city has entered into a contract with the school bus companies that say only service up to 4:30. So we, at my urging, we adopted language in the budget that says the city has to pay for transportation, public and private, even if it's after 5 o'clock, and you can't just give somebody a bus pass and send them out at 5 o'clock in the dark in the winter with a bus pass. So that was something that I was very proud also to do. And then a couple of weeks ago, though unfortunately it wasn't successful, I testified at public schools. It was the water board held a hearing on the rate increase at public school 222 was the Brooklyn hearing, and I testified on behalf of my constituents, because I hear from all of the homeowners about the high costs of the increases we've gotten on water bills. So I testified on behalf of the community to urge them not to have a large increase this year, but also to that we're working in Albany to adopt 2 pieces of legislation. Right now, the water board is all made up of mayoral appointees, and if they don't do what the mayor wants, they're no longer a mayoral appointee. So we have a bill in Albany that I'm one of the main sponsors of to say it's a 7-member board, 3 from the mayor, and then the remainder, so actually the majority, are a mixture of appointed by the city council and the controller. And then we have another bill that we're trying to pass that says you can't have more than a 5% increase in, have a cap. You can't have more than a 5% increase in the water bill in any given year. I don't have to tell anybody here who's paid a water bill that we had a 12.9% increase just a couple of years ago. So I just wanted to let people know that those are some of the issues that I've been working on. And
so you don't like Mayor Bloomberg?
Oh, not fair.
Joking.
I don't like that the city has been trying to raise revenue, and I'm sure Councilman Germani will agree with me on this, that the city has been trying to raise money on the backs of homeowners and nitpicking small business owners by enforcing fines that for years, regulations that for years were not enforced, and without even giving a warning, walking into stores and giving high-priced tickets for items that could easily have been corrected if they were given given a warning. So
I'm with you.
that's my, yeah.
But we are winning by 87 votes right now.
Who's we?
There are 100
Oh, wait, who's we?
Louis.
Oh, okay.
And there are 119 ballots that were agreed that the judge ruled could be counted today. And they were collected by a very interesting thing. One woman went around a building called Oceana, which is the old Brighton Beach Mansion for somebody who's been around long enough. And they counted, she collected 177 ballots, or what they call absentee ballots, which means if you had to go on vacation or you're sick or something like that. There was some issue about the way those were collected, and the judge ruled today that even though she might have committed fraud in the way she collected them, that the people do have a right to vote, and therefore we want to eliminate their vote. So we anticipate probably most of those ballots will be going for the other candidate. So we probably will be losing this election as of Monday by about 27 votes. Now here's the next up. You talk about a mishigash. I mean, this is something. I mean, this is, they're going to be now a hand-counted ballot. By the way, this is the closest election in New York State history. So now they're going to be, after that occurs, about a week later, they will start counting by hand every ballot. There's always some discrepancy, by the way, when from the machines to the actual hand count. So we probably won't have a result for about 2 weeks.
That woman
Yes.
who committed fraud, she's not going to be counting.
No, I don't think so.
I have another
But-
question.
yeah.
But when it is decided, will they even have a job? I mean,
No, yes, they will and they won't, because whoever wins, they win, they kind of, it's like, you ever
No
see that
Walters,
commercial? See that commercial from one of the, they giving away something, said, oh, what did I win, the car? I said, no. What you win is a seat that will pretty much be non-existent on January 1st.
so what are they fighting about? Why doesn't one of them
Well,
just say, you know what, for the sake of
good
taxpayers'
idea.
money? For the
Listen,
sake of taxpayers' money.
as everything in politics is about, it's...
How much is
it's
this
about the law.
costing the taxpayers, you know?
Oh, I have no idea, but I mean, it's costing the candidates a lot of money for the lawyers. They pay for the lawyers, so...
Also, the lawyers at least are happy.
So, yeah, there's a few of them out there that are very happy.
All right.
But the bottom line will be, in about 2 to 3 weeks, the end of May, early June, they'll make a decision. Here's the other crazy part. Now, what do they win? Like you said, nothing. They win an empty seat for 6 months because the session for the New York State Senate ends on June 20th. So there'll be no session. There'll be no opportunity to vote, whoever does win. And the second thing that is important about this is that there is a lawsuit brought by the Senate Democrats to overturn the drawing of the lines that they created. You heard Mercedes mention about Senator Sampson's new district. It's like the wildest district in the whole world. It connects by one street, Nostrand Avenue. A whole other part of, yeah, I know, that's what I said. Maybe there's no sugar in it or something. It's, that whole side is, they took a whole section of Midwood, this area, and some of the others, and put it into that district. And basically created a district they consider valid. If the government, if the lawsuit prevails, they'll have to redraw the Senate district. Remember, they eliminated Carl Kruger's district and created one newer district over further west in the Borough Park area, which is what, and then this was all the remnants that came around it. So the two districts that were set were Marty Golden's district from Bay Ridge, which connects by one street also into Marine Park and to Garrettson Beach and now Manhattan Beach. And this district, which they've taken over from the east, put over. The line, if you looked at the line, I go crazy when I look at the lines. I need my glasses, I can't read the streets, it's so small. But all bottom line is, if the lawsuit prevails, there'll be new lines. If the lawsuit doesn't, and there will be a chance for whoever wants to run. And remember, it doesn't matter whether, if Lou Fidler wins or loses and there are new lines, he will be running, probably. It may take us a little longer as Mercedes to get to where we want to be. But that's going to be that won't be overnight. So that's kind of, we'll keep you posted. Probably by September we'll know if we're going to have elections for anything and where they're going to be.